Sudanese Sufi women. A new episode, the audience. Going further, introducing Sudanese Sufi women forget a legacy. And as you follow, the audience, Sudanese Sufi woman has played great and magnificent role in the spread, in the dissemination of Tasawwuf and Islam in the country. So, as one of the objectives of my introducing this documentaries series, handling their lives, their contribution, today we have very important and very significant figure among those great ladies in our presence, Amona bint Aboud. So Amona bint Aboud is among those celebrated figures that carried the torch of faith, knowledge, and service to her own community. And she is among those names deserve to be remembered alongside great scholars and saints of their age. However, this episode is dedicated to handle part of her legacy, putting in consideration that she played a remarkable role and she was a pioneer in education and compassion, a woman known far and wide, from the Nile to the deserts of Chad and even among the pilgrims of West Africa. About Sheikh Amona bint Aboud family and lineage, her biography informs that she belongs to the family of the noble Wasif ibn Suwar ibn Shaykh. So she belongs to Shaykhiya tribe. And she was born in the village of Osli in that part of the country. She lived during the final days of French Sultanate and the beginning of the Turkish rule. And as you know, the Turkish rule, by the way, started in the year 1821, while French Sultanate has ended in the year 1820. Among the noted members of her family emerged former Sudanese President Ibrahim Aboud, and she was his grandmother. So Ibrahim Aboud, former Sudanese president, was a descendant from the family of Amona bint Aboud. And as a matter of fact, he ruled the country, he ruled Sudan from the year 1958 to 1964. Moreover, among her prominent and famous members was Mehera, her sister. However, the fame and reputation of Mehera among the Sudanese is so wide And this is due to her participation in the events of politics. More specifically, her participation in the battle against the Turkish invaders, that is in 1821, with more specifically in the Battle of Corti, which has taken place in 1820. So just here I would like to provide more information about this courageous lady, Mehera, the sister of Amona. So Mehera bint Aboud was born in the year 1780 in the village of Osley and passed away in the year 1840. She was a 19th century Sudanese female poet and warrior, celebrated as the heroine for her attitude of resistance to the Turkish invasion of Sudan. Mehera played a significant role in inspiring youth to fight against the Turkish leader Ismail Pasha through her poetry. In a time when women led wars, the most beautiful girls of the tribe would dress in full regalia, riding camels while singing patriotic and motivating songs. Some of these women even engaged in combat and rode horses to face the enemy. So her story is still circulated among the Sudanese, for she played a crucial role in motivating Sudanese people at that time against the colonizers during the Battle of Corti, which took place on November 4, 1820, when Ismail Pasha entered the areas of the Shahia, demanding that they hand over their weapons while he possessed firearms. When there was a division of opinion between those supporting war and those calling for surrender, Mehera bint Aboud urged the youth quickly to defend their land. So her story is so very long, and she played a very magnificent role in defending her country during the Battle of Corti. So if Mehera has played that role, by the way, following encouraging, inciting youth to stand against the invaders, here we find that her sister Amona herself waged a different kind of battle, and that battle of combating and fighting ignorance and spreading literacy among her society women members. The battle for knowledge, the battle for Quranic education and for the service to pilgrims passing through Sudan on their way to Mecca. And as a matter of fact, here what I would like to say before going further in handling her biography, people recall that how she was so very famous in West African countries, for she played the role of an institution that hosted the pilgrims on their way from West Africa, from African countries, on their way to Hijaz. So Amona, by the way, she was lived for the great deeds, for the great accomplishment. And for this, she was the first Sudanese woman to establish Quranic school, Khalawis, and learning centers for children in her own community. She placed education above all else, even above family comfort, dedicating her wealth and effort to nurturing young minds. She built classrooms for boys and for girls, provided food and lodging, and invited teachers and shuyukh from faraway regions to spread knowledge among her community members. In doing so, she became a beacon, a pioneer for learning across both East and West Sudan, and especially among the West African pilgrims who crossed Sahara on their long journey to the Holy Land. Her generosity was legendary. She welcomed pilgrims into her home, offering them lodging and food. On her farmlands along the Nile, she installed 2 water wheels, the first in her region for growing cotton, with the help of women in her household and female Quranic students. She transformed the cotton harvest into woven fabric, clothing the children of her school in uniforms of her own making. What was left, she gave freely to pilgrims. And pilgrims here, by the way, referring to African pilgrims, mainly from West Africa, who crossed the spaces and distances to reach her. And by the way, she represents a destination. A shelter and refuge. So she used to host them with extreme generosity, and her generosity was so legendary, sending those pilgrims on their way with garments from her compassion. For nothing went to waste in her care. Even the skins of dead animals were gathered to make a kind of shoes known as ashigiyana shoes, which she distributed among pilgrims of West Africa, as well as scholars that who share her the mission of educating the populace. Her name spread across caravan routes as a woman of mercy, and pilgrims would pray and supplicate aloud on their journey. O Allah, hasten our arrival to Amona home. يا ربي بسرعة نصل لدار أمونتي. Such their words. It has been narrated that Amona fame is so wide in West Africa among pilgrims, and for this they see in her the generous, merciful individual, and their reverence to her went further, for they used to say that we know Makkah al-Madinata wa Ammunata. So they come to take it and to pronounce it such in that way, in that African accent. And this is, by the way, recognition and at the same time acknowledgement for the role that she played. She come to be joined and to be mentioned with the two sacred holy cities, that is Mecca and Medina. So they believe that her position, her role that she used to carry out is so significant, and because of this she always in their remembrance, in their thinking. And they used to say, we know Makkah, we know Makkah and al-Madinata and Amona and Amonata. So they believe in that way. So this is just, as I told, an indication to what extent that this generous woman played in that far time. So what I would like to say here in this particular context, that we as Sudanese, by the way, neglected so a lot of precious of our history, and we have been occupied with insignificant things, forgetting that we have rich, great history of such great personalities like that one of Amona bint Aboud. So over time, everything she touched bore her name. And then we have Amona village, we have Amona's island, we have Amona's water wells, we have Amona's palm crops. Her legacy became woven into the land itself, a living testimony to the devotion. Amona bint Aboud was not only a teacher or a benefactor, she was a visionary, a woman who built institutions, nurtured generations, and welcomed strangers as though they were her own children. She stands among the great foremothers of Sudanese Sufism, reminding us that the path of knowledge is also the path of compassion. She is a woman of light, a mother to pilgrims, a pioneer of education, girls' education in Sudan.
لا إله
Unfortunately, despite her great role she played and the contributions and the service that she provided to her community and even beyond her own local inhabitants, she never received any kind of researches. Such personality definitely is in need to be studied, for the great role that she had played with some other of her peers deserve Sudanese researcher to stand for the mission. However, some articles have been written about her, mainly by رافع الطهطاوي and moreover the Sudanese researcher طيب محمد الطيب, who had documented part of her biography in his noted book Al-Masid. So just here I would like to share you what Rafi al-Tahtawi has said about this great lady. On my way to the land of Shaigia in the Dongula province, I had seen a wife of Senjak named Al-Malik Al-Izerig, known as Amona. Reading the Noble Quran, and I found two offices. Offices here refers to Quranic school, khalwas, for the teaching of the Quran, as well as for the memorization of the mutun, fiqh, footnotes. One for boys and other for girls. She to pay the expenses for the two offices out of her earnings from the cotton cultivation. So that is the words of Rafa al-Tahtawi. So he stated that in his journey to the land of Shaigia, he came across a place in which there were two Quranic schools, two khalwas, one for girl and the other for boys. That khalawis run by Amona, as he called her, and she is not only provided girls and boys with the memorization of the Holy Quran, but moreover with the memorization of the mutun, that is footnotes of the Maliki fiqh. And he told that she is in responsibility of paying the expenses of the accommodation of the students, who in fact came from different places to her own area. And she is in that mission depend on her expenses on the cultivation of cotton in her own water wells. Finally, here just I would like to reassure that she is an example of generous woman, for her home is comparable to the taki or takiya in our Sudanese Arabic language. Taki for the unprivileged the poor, and the passerby. In the past time, Wadi Bishar village, by the way, her activities are there in her village, which known as Wadi Bishara. So Wadi Bishara village serve as a location for all of her activities. So Amona serve as a role model for the ascetic, pious woman who fear Allah and met men behind the curtain. She devoted her entire place life to serving others with the sole purpose of spreading knowledge and the book of Allah. So the audience, as you listen, just part of biography, part of the contributions of this great lady has been presented, putting in considerations that so magnificent deeds, magnificent achievements have been fulfilled by such great woman. And as I told before, my objective, my mission behind these recordings is just to share you, the audience, to share you how Sudanese Sufi women has played a magnificent role, have contributed greatly in spreading the awareness, the enlightenment, each one of them in her respected area. And finally, what I would like to tell is that Amona and her surrounding areas has very strong connection with the Tijaniya Sufi order. Till seeing you in another episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.